Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with another installment of Building the Team. So, 2 weeks ago, we ran our animal team. Went with the martial artist team. Oh, the Spider-Man family, the martial arts Spider-Man family team. And we kind of got our asses handed to us. It was a bit hard. The dice just really weren't with me. So, I mean, it happens. It happens to everyone. So, yeah. Anyway, so for this week's build, we're going with 400 points. Actually, we were originally going to do 400 points. With no mutants allowed because House of X is supposed to be coming out this coming week. Well, that's been pushed back a few more weeks, so instead, we're going to stick with the 400 point build total. No figure to over 100. Everyone has to be under 100 points. So, we've got a few teams built for that. First off, we got ourselves an Avengers team. And we're actually going to I'm going to have to start this off with, and we'll start off that team with Steve Rogers. Yeah, this is the WizKids just reused the Steve Rogers sculpt from Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. for the Captain America and the Avengers Steve Rogers. Anyway, Steve Rogers comes in at 50 points. He has the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. team abilities as well as the Avengers, Howling Commanders, Invaders, S.H.I.E.L.D., and Soldier keywords. We've got 3 traits. First off is Assembled Avengers, which 3 other members of the team have as well. We've gone over it before, but just in case any of you guys may have forgotten. Once per turn, when Steve Rogers hits, after resolutions, roll a d6 on a 5 or a 6. If you have 3 or more friendly characters with the Avengers keyword, remove an action token from Steve Rogers, or remove an action token to a hit target. If you have 6 or more, do both. Next up, we have the Living Legend trait. The first time each game that Steve would be KO'd, instead, turn to his last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal him equal to half the result. And Pulse Wave doesn't prevent this either, so if he would be KO'd because of Pulse Wave, it still goes off. Finally, we'll take all the help we can get if you're worth it, or if you're worthy. Leadership. During force construction, you may choose a standard character of 50 points or less. That character loses its printed keywords for the entire game, and this game and then gains either the Avengers or S.H.I.E.L.D. keyword, one or the other. Now, looking at Steve's dial, got a full run of sidestep, a full run of combat reflexes. We got a couple clicks of perplex, followed by a few clicks of outwit, and that's really it for 50 points. Now, who is Steve bringing in as an Avenger? Well, none other than Josiah X. Josiah here comes in at 50 points, right at the cutoff for Steve's trait. We'll take all the help we can get. He has no team ability. As well, he also has the Scientist, Soldier, and Warrior keywords, though he will be losing all 3 of those thanks to Steve's trait. Looking at his dial, we start off with a couple clicks of charge, followed by a couple clicks of sidestep, then 2 more clicks of charge. We get some mid-dial precision strike. He's indomitable. We open up with some invulnerability, which gives way to toughness, and then energy deflection. On damage, now this is where Josiah shines. We have a special power called the Crew. Empower. Friendly characters that are adjacent or share a keyword with Josiah X can reduce penetrating damage. As he'll be given the Avengers keyword, well, everyone on the team will be sharing that with him. So, anyway, then we get a couple clicks of just regular Empower and a couple late dial clicks of Close Combat Expert. Honestly, I wish that Close Combat Expert was in the middle of the dial with a sidestep. I think that would make it work a little bit better and kind of give him a late dial, turn him from an early dial early to mid dial attacker into a late dial support piece. But that's Josiah. Next up, we've got Agent Venom. Agent Venom comes in at 65 points. He has the team player wildcard team ability, so any team ability you've got that he could use, well, he can have it. Just one at a time, though. He's also got improved movement, ignores elevated terrain, hindering terrain, improved targeting, may make range attacks out of adjacency, including to target adjacent opposing characters. Finally, he has the Avengers, Codex, Guardians of the Galaxy, Shield, Spider-Man Family, Monster, and Soldier keywords, as well as the two traits. First into the battle, at the beginning of your turn, you may roll a d6. Move Agent Venom up to half the result. If it's your first turn, move him up to the full result instead. And next up, we have Symbiote, giving him plasticity and shape change. As he is a secret identity figure, he does have a short secret identity dial, but we're not worried about that. So, looking at his dial, we get a couple clicks of stealth, followed by a few clicks of running shot. We get some mid to late dial penetrating psychic blast. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable that opens up with invulnerability, which then gives it a special power, Go Down Swing, giving him super senses and toughness. And we get some early dial range combat expert, which will kind of work nicely with that stealth. And also it'll work nicely with that first into the battle trait. You can move, especially on the first turn, you can move him into a nice, you just, keep moving him for free those first few turns. Get him up into some hindering terrain, and yeah, start blasting with Close Combat Expert. Next up, we've got Wasp. So the Winsome Wasp here comes in at 75 points as the Avengers team ability, as well as the Avengers, Lady Liberators, Wakanda, Celebrity, Scientist, and Spy keywords. We got the Assembled Avengers trait, as well as the Espionage trait, which transfers stealth, as well as improved movement and targeting ignores hindering terrain. And finally, the trait Wasp-Sized Annoyance. Opposing characters within 5 squares can use improved targeting abilities. That can be devastating. Especially seeing as how there were a lot of figures in... There are a lot of good figures from Captain the Avengers that are still good, that have that espionage trait. So, yeah. Anyway, looking at the Wasp style, we open up with a click of Sidestep, followed by Running Shot, then back to Sidestep, and then we close out with 2 clicks of Running Shot. On attack, we open up with a click of Penetrating Psychic Blast, followed by a click of Incap, back to Penetrating Psychic Blast, and then a couple more clicks of, you guessed it, Incapacitate. Defensively speaking, we've got a few clicks of Super Senses, followed by a couple clicks of Willpower. She's got the tiny damage symbol, so she can be carried by standard characters. Opens up with a few clicks of Leadership, followed by a couple clicks of Perplex. And she also has the Assembled Avengers trait, just like Steve Rogers does. Moving on, we've got Captain America. That's the Falcon as Cap. Cap here comes in at 75 points, has the Avengers team ability, as well as the Avengers, Shield, and Soldier keywords. He has the Assembled Avengers and Living Legends traits, same as Steve Rogers, and well, Assembled Avengers, same as Wasp as well. Looking at his dial, we open up with a few clicks of Running Shot, followed by a few clicks of Charge. We get some mid to late dial Precision Strike on attack. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower, which is always nice. On defense, we open up with some Impervious, which then gives way to the special defense power, Carrying On Steve's Legacy. Super Senses, Toughness, Modified Defense +2 if Captain America moved during your last turn. Okay. Given he's already got pretty high defense, if he moved on your last turn, yeah, that defense is even beefier. Damage-wise, we open up with a couple clicks of Leadership, then we get some mid-dial Empower. And all those reducers will be great if as long as Josiah X is on his first few clicks. Because that way, well, Cap can reduce penetrating damage, meaning His impervious will work normally if he's hit with exploit weakness or penetrating psychic blast. He'll roll a d6, and if it's 5 or a 6, damage is reduced to 0. Finally, for the team, we've got Black Panther. Panther here comes in at 85 points. He has the team player wildcard ability, same as Agent Venom, as well as the Avengers, Illuminati, Wakanda, Ruler, and Warrior keywords. This was improved movement towards elevated terrain. We got 2 traits: Silent Hunter, which is the same as Espionage, Stealth, improved movement, and improved targeting towards hindering terrain. We've also got the Assembled Avengers trait, same as Cap, Wasp, and Steve Rogers. Looking at his dial, we open up with a click of charge, followed by a couple clicks of flurry, back to charge, then back to flurry, and then a couple clicks of sidestep at the end. On attack, we open up with a long block of the special power Vibranium Daggers, which grant him Blaze Claw's Fangs, and when his attack roll is doubles, he deals penetrating damage. Okay. On defense, we got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. We open up with a few clicks, more than a few clicks actually, of super senses, which gives away a couple clicks of, or to a few clicks of combat reflexes. On damage, we open up with the special power I Never Freeze, which gives Black Panther protected outwit, as well as leadership. Opposing effects can't give Black Panther action tokens or modify his combat values either. We get a few mid-dial clicks of outwit as well, and then back to the special power. So that's our Avengers team. Now we're taking a brief sojourn to the Distinguished Competition. We'll be giving the Justice Lords another go. We've actually looked at this exact team before, but well, it's been a little while. So kicking things off, we've got Justice Lords Batman, who comes in at 65 points, has the Batman Ally team ability, as well as the Gotham City Justice Lords, Detective, Martial Artist, Ruler keywords. He also has improved movement in towards elevated hindering terrain. And he has 2 traits: Justice Lords. When Batman damages an opposing character with an attack, after resolutions, deal that character one unavoidable damage. If that character is not KO'd, immediately heal it 1 click. Followed by They'd Be So Proud of You. Adjacent opposing characters can use mind control, but only to target Batman. Okay. And it looks like Justice Lords will be shown. Yeah, everyone's gonna have the Justice Lords trait. It works the exact same way on all of them. Anywho, looking at Batman's dial, we open up with special power on speed. Too much to be done, giving him running shot and sidestep, which then gives it a regular sidestep. Now, for those unaware, the Batman Ally team ability here grants him stealth, so got that taken care of. On attack, we open up with Incapacitate, followed by some Precision Strike. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. A couple clicks of Toughness, followed by a few clicks of Combat Reflexes. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Outwit. We have a bare mid-click, and then we end with a couple clicks of Perplex. Not too shabby. Next up, we've got Hawkgirl. Hawkgirl comes in at 70 points as the Justice Lord's Mystical, Past, Ruler, and Warrior keywords, as well as the Justice Lord's trait, same as Batman, as well as the trait Thanagarian Nth Metal. When Hawkgirl hits after resolutions, you may choose an object equipped to a hit character and remove it from the game. This can affect indestructible equipment, which are scored normally. Okay. Looking at her dial, we open up with a couple clicks of hypersonic speed, followed by a few clicks of charge, and back to hypersonic at the end there. On attack, we open up with some Precision Strike, followed by Quake, then back to Precision Strike. Defensively speaking, she's got Indomitable. We open up with a couple clicks of Super Senses, then a few clicks of Invulnerability, and then back to Super Senses. We get some mid to late dial Close Combat Expert on damage. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Next up, we've got Green Lantern. John Stewart here comes in at 75 points, has the Green Lantern core team ability, which should be on WizKid's list of, which honestly should be on WizKid's short list of team abilities to completely and totally revamp. because yeah, it's not good. Well, it's good. It's just that it doesn't work well for Green Lantern teams. Maybe if you've got a, and even then, it doesn't work for a lot of teams in general, just because of how it works. But yeah, anyway, tangent. So Green Lantern comes in. Like I said, he says Green Lantern core team ability, which what it does, he can carry up to 8 friendly characters. But as far as I know, there isn't anything saying he can, they can be flyers or giants or anything. Just, up to 8 friendly non-flyer characters. So Green Lantern has a couple has the Green Lantern core, Justice Lord's ruler and soldier keyword, as well as the Justice Lord's trait, and another trait, the most powerful weapon in the known universe. When Green Lantern hits after resolutions, give each hit character that is equipped an action token. Okay. Looking at his dial, we open up with a few clicks of running shot, followed by a couple clicks of charge. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of penetrating psychic blast. We get a bare mid click, and then a couple clicks of Blades Claw's Fangs. He's got Indomitable. Opens up with a special defense power, A Better World, which gives him energy deflection and invulnerability, which then gives it a toughness. On damage, we open up with an enhancement, and yes, that is we get a 3, then a 4 damage. We get another bare mid click of damage but with a 4, and we get a couple clicks of Empower. Okay, all right. He can dish out damage, and he can also help you do more damage. Next up, we've got Martian Manhunter. I love this sculpt. Jean turning into a snake preacher. Martian Manhunter comes in at 90 points. Has the Justice Lord's Cosmic Detective, Police, and Ruler keywords, as well as the Justice Lord's trait. Looking at his dial, we open up with a couple clicks of charge, followed up by the special speed power Alien Snake Dragon, which gives him Flurry, Stealth, Giant Reach of 3. Phasing Teleport is free, but he can't move more than 4 squares. Okay. Then we get a final click of Sidestep. On attack, we open up with Precision Strike, followed by Blades Claw's Fangs, and back to Precision Strike. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. Opens up with invulnerability. Yeah, opens up with invulnerability, and gives way to the special defense power, Martian Physiology, granting him regeneration and super senses. Okay, all right. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of probability control, followed by some mid to late dial shape change, and then one final click of probability control. Not too shabby at all. He is definitely gonna be hard to hit. That's for sure. Next up, we've got Wonder Woman. Wendy here also comes in at 90 points. Has the Amazon, Justice Lord's ruler and warrior keywords, as well as the Justice Lord's trait, as well as another trait, the President Has Fallen. When Wonder Woman damages an opposing character after resolutions, choose one. A hit character loses all keywords for the rest of the game, or modify attack and damage +1 on each other friendly character with the Justice Lord's keyword until your next turn. Ooh. Oh, that's the good stuff there. I'm looking at Wonder Woman's dial. We open up with a few clicks of charge, followed by a few clicks of the special speed power, damaging and brutal, which gives her flurry and plasticity. On attack, we open up with a few clicks of super strength. On defense, we've got Indomitable, and she opens up with a special speed power, Princess of the Mascara, which grants her energy deflection and vulnerability. And this power is protected both from Outwit and Pulse Wave. Then on damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Perplex, followed by Battle Fury for the rest of the dial, so she can ignore Shape Change for most of her dial. And that's honestly pretty damn big, because there's a lot of figures out there rocking Shape Change. Thank you, thank you, New Skrulls. Thank you, Absolute Carnage, so on and so forth. Now we are light a few points, so I'm adding. Once again, we're going to add Dragon Fang to the team. Dragon Fang is a 10 point equipment, or piece of equipment. The effect is Blaze Claw's Fangs, and when the character uses it once per turn, the result may be re-rolled. And the idea is to honestly give this to Hawkgirl so that she can use it with her hypersonic speed as well as with her charge. So, you know, options. Now, for our final team of the week, we built ourselves a Fantastic Four team. Kicking things off with Black Leopard, who will probably be on every Fantastic Four team I build from here on out. Black Leopard comes in at 50 points, has the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Wakanda, Ruler, and Warrior keywords. He also has improved movement in order hindering terrain, as well as the trait to fight for equality in Rudyarda. The maximum attack, defense, and damage values of opposing characters within 6 squares in line of fire are each equal to Black Leopard's printed value of that type. So there's the here's his dial. So at most, your opponents have 10s, 17s, 3. Yeah, you get the idea. But looking at the dial, we have a couple clicks of charge, followed by a couple clicks of flurry, and and then a couple clicks of stealth. On attack, we got a couple clicks of Blaze Claw's Fangs, followed by a couple clicks of Precision Strike. He's got Indomitable. A few clicks of Combat Reflexes, followed by a few clicks of Super Senses. Then on damage, we open up the special power. Reminders of how they view even a king. Leadership Perplex. When Black Leopard uses Perplex to target himself, modify the chosen value by +2 instead. If an opposing character within 6 squares in line of fire has a higher printed value for the chosen value has a higher printed value for the chosen value than Black Panther's printed value. Okay, alright. And it can be damage. Then we end up with a few clicks of regular Perplex. Not too shabby. And to be fair, Black Leopard is one of the meta figures, is currently a big part of the meta. Next up, we've got X-23. X-23 here comes in at 50 points, has the Team Player Wildcard ability, as well as the all-new X-Men, Fantastic Four, Weapon X, X-Force, X-Men, and Detective keywords. We also got improved movement in order hindering terrain, as well as 2 traits. Circle of 4, if she hasn't been moved or placed this turn, modify attack and damage by +1. And then Healing Factor, Toughness. At the beginning of your turn, if X-23 has 2 action tokens, heal her 1 click. Okay. Looking at her dial, we open up with a click of Charge, followed by a couple clicks of special power Hunter and Tracker, which give her Flurry, Sidestep, and Stealth. Back to Charge, and then a click of Sidestep at the end. On attack, we open up with a click of Blaze Claw's Fangs, followed by a couple clicks of Precision Strike. Back to Blade, and then a couple more clicks of Blaze Claw's Fangs. Defensively speaking, we've got Indom. Open up with a click of Super Senses, followed by a couple clicks of Combat Reflexes, and then back to Super Senses and back to Combat Reflexes. Excuse me. On damage, we open up with we've got a click of Exploit Weakness, followed by a couple clicks of Empower. Back to Exploit Weakness, and then a final click of Battle Fury. Okay, alright, not too shabby. Next up, we've got Spider-Man. Spidey here comes in at 75 points, has the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man ally team abilities, making him a wild card as well as an FF member. He also has improved movement, ignores elevated hindering terrain as well as characters. He has the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man family, reporter, and scientist keywords, as well as 2 traits. First off, a new kind of fantastic teamwork. When Spider-Man hits with a close attack, until your next turn, other friendly characters with the Fantastic Four keyword can use improved movement ignores characters, elevated terrain, and hindering terrain. Next up, the new Fantastic Four. Passenger 1, but only to carry characters with the Fantastic Four keyword. Once per turn, when Spider-Man is carried and placed adjacent to 2 or more opposing characters, after resolutions, he may make a close attack. Okay. So it's actually beneficial to carry him around with you so that he can, potentially make attacks. And if he does it right, you can drop him off next to 2 opposing characters. If he hits, this will be close. If he hits at least one of them, then everyone gets the improved movement stuff. Looking at Spider-Man's dial, we open up with a couple clicks of running shot, followed by a click of sidestep, a couple clicks of plasticity, back to sidestep. On attack, we open up with got a few clicks of incapacitate, and that's it. On defense, we open up with a few clicks of super senses, followed by a couple clicks of combat reflexes, and back to super senses. We get some mid to late dial close combat expert, and that wraps up Spider-Man's dial. Next up, we've got grumble. The Hulk, the Jade Giant, the Green Goliath. Hulk comes in at 75 points, has the Fantastic Four team ability, as well as the Fantastic Four and monster keywords. He's got the same traits as Spider-Man. New Fantastic Four trait works the exact same way as it does with Spidey. New kind of Fantastic Teamwork. It triggers the same manner when he hits with a close attack, but instead, friendly characters with the FF keyword can use Charge. Okay. Looking at his dial, we open up with a special speed power. Guess I'll smash. Charge, but does not have speed. So yeah, you could, for example, you could perplex up his speed to up to 10 and have a full move charge. And keep in mind that with New Fantastic Four, he can carry a friendly character with the Fantastic Four keyword, like say Spider-Man or Ghost Rider. Both of which can then provide additional things for your for the rest of FF to utilize. Then we get a few clicks of regular charge, followed by a few clicks of sidestep. On attack, we open up a few clicks of super strength, followed by a couple clicks of quake. He's got indomitable on defense, and then we open up with a couple clicks of invulnerability, a couple of toughness, and then a couple of regeneration. Then we get some late dial close combat expert. Alright, okay. I dig it. I definitely dig it. Next up, we've got the Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman comes in at 75 points. She has the Fantastic Four and S.H.I.E.L.D. team abilities, as well as the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Lady Liberators, S.H.I.E.L.D., Celebrity, and Spy keywords. We get a couple of traits. First off, yeah, my power set is really good for espionage, granting her stealth and improved movement ignores hindering, or improved targeting ignores hindering terrain. Adjacent friendly characters that share a keyword with her can use stealth and improved targeting ignores hindering terrain. So the idea is to try and keep her and Black Leopard adjacent at all times. Then she has the form of New Fantastic Four trait, which, to be fair, we're not going to use. But the basic idea is that you can replace up to 4 friendly characters during the beginning of the game, before the game begins, with that many points worth of friendly characters from your sideline, and as long as they have different names. But yeah, all the versions of all the booster versions of Invisible Woman have that. Looking at her dial, we open up with a few clicks of running shot, followed by a nicely sized block of force blast. On attack, we open up with special power, I won't kill anyone, giving her incapacitate. When she uses it, after resolutions, hit characters modify attack -1 until your next turn. This then gives way to precision strike. On defense, we open up with a few clicks of initial deflection, followed by a nicely sized block of toughness. We open up on damage. We open up with a click of probability control, followed by a few clicks of perplex. Okay, all right. Finally, we've got Ghost Rider. This is the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. He comes in at 75 points. Has the Fantastic Four and Mystics team abilities. Sadly, Mystics is no longer copyable by wild cards, but so you can't give that to X-23 and Spider-Man, sadly. He's got the Fantastic Four, Marvel Knights, Midnight Suns, and Mystical keywords, as well as the new kind of Fantastic Teamwork and new Fantastic Four traits, same as Spider-Man and Hulk. His new kind of Fantastic Teamwork trait, when he hits with a close attack, friendly characters with the FF keyword can use Exploit Weakness. Looking at his dial, we open up with a few clicks of running shot, followed by a few clicks of plasticity. On attack, we open up with social power, no hiding from judgment, giving him penetrating psychic blast and improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain. When making a range attack, if his line of fire crosses hindering terrain, modify attack and damage by +1. Okay. That then gives way to a few clicks of poison. On defense, we open up with vulnerability, followed by a few clicks of toughness, and then we get some late dial exploit weakness. Okay. Alright. Not too shabby. Anyway, that is it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what team let me know which team you think I should play. I should run in the coming game. In the comments below. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal account in the description box down below. You can leave a comment. Let me know which team you think I should use in the comments below as well. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.